Detroit executives tell investors the affordable driver's car died of natural causes. But if the market is truly dead, someone forgot to tell the competition. Hyundai recently reported a 141% year-over-year sales spike for the high-performance Elantra N as factory inventory normalized. Toyota is moving every Gazoo racing Corolla it can build, celebrating a record sales year. The demand for accessible performance is exploding. The company that perfected the formula intentionally surrendered its crown jewel. Did changing consumer tastes actually kill the affordable performance car? Or did a billion-dollar liability force Ford to surrender the entire market to their foreign rivals? Welcome to Bear Block Chronicles. We skip the spec sheets and follow the money. In 2011, Ford implemented the PowerShift dual-clutch transmission, internally designated the DPS6, as a compliance tool to meet early fuel economy targets. But the dry-clutch design couldn't handle the heat of stop-and-go traffic. Clutches burned out within the warranty period, triggering a severe financial crisis. Replacing the flawed platform would have required billions in re-engineering costs. Ford's accountants ran the math, and the lawsuits were cheaper than a redesign. The corporate strategy determined it was financially viable to absorb the legal fallout and let the platform degrade. Ford's fix was not a mechanical overhaul, it was a structured payout. The resulting class action settlement guaranteed a fund of up to $77.4 million. Individual cash payouts were strictly capped at $2,325 for transmission hardware replacements. This shifted the ultimate cost of the failure directly onto the consumer, through depreciation. To contain the regulatory fallout, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration published documents showing Ford extended the clutch warranty to 7 years or 100,000 miles. By May of 2023, Ford extended the transmission control module coverage to 10 years or 150,000 miles. This decade-long warranty tail inflated the platform's lifetime cost, bleeding its profit margins dry. While the engineering defect was legally contained, the corporate spreadsheets were being prepared for a much larger execution. Faced with mounting liabilities, Ford realized financing a heavy crossover was far more profitable than fixing a compact hatchback. During a 2018 earnings call, CEO Jim Hackett explicitly stated that by 2020, almost 90% of their North American portfolio would consist of trucks, utilities, and commercial vehicles. Ford intentionally starved the sub-$30,000 market to push buyers into higher-margin vehicles like the Bronco. Public financial filings from 2025 validate this exact strategy. Ford Pro, the commercial truck division, generated $6.8 billion in earnings. That profit had to offset a $4.8 billion structural operating loss in the Model E electric vehicle division and $2 billion in import tariffs. Ford eliminated low-margin passenger cars to balance the ledger. The final executioner was regulatory friction. A federal rule designed to save fuel actually pays automakers to build bigger vehicles. In the United States, the corporate average fuel economy footprint rule determines efficiency targets based on a vehicle's wheelbase and track width. This mathematically penalizes small cars. Automakers simply stretch wheelbases to lower their compliance burden. Today, automakers prefer buying regulatory credits directly from Tesla, rather than engineering profitable, high-efficiency, lightweight hatchbacks. Regulatory pressure in Europe was worse. The European Commission enacted a strict, fleet-wide target of 95 grams of carbon dioxide per kilometer. Failing to meet the target triggers millions of dollars in fleet-scale financial fines. Attempting to build a compliant hybrid system into a compact chassis destroyed the business case entirely. The final focus rolled off the Saarlouis assembly line in November 2025. Ford vacated the space, creating a billion-dollar void. Ford vacated the segment. Toyota did not waste time. Competitors immediately seized the abandoned territory, permanently handing generational brand loyalty to rivals. The narrative that affordable performance died naturally is dismantled by transactional data. Toyota utilized its Gazoo racing division to turn the GR Corolla into a highly profitable halo asset. By burying the specific performance unit volumes within a 248,088 unit sales year for the Corolla family, Toyota protects its strategy. Crucially, Toyota survives the strict global emissions regulations by utilizing the sales volume of its hybrid fleet. These hybrids accounted for 49% of the Toyota division's 2025 sales, mathematically offsetting the carbon penalty imposed by Gazoo Racing. As rivals proved demand still existed, pricing floated upward. Honda positioned the 2026 Civic Type R at a near-luxury suggested retail price of $46,895. With factory allocation severely restricted, dealership networks actively weaponized the resulting scarcity to enforce extreme market adjustments. Volkswagen positioned the 2026 Golf R at $49,455, then removed the manual transmission globally to streamline Euro 7 compliance. They made that cut despite a 52% manual take rate in the United States, sacrificing their most loyal buyers for spreadsheet efficiency. But Hyundai took the opposite approach, pricing the high-performance Elantra N purely on value, and it experienced triple-digit percentage growth. Consumers pay for this market surrender at the dealership counter. The sub-$30,000 new vehicle market is nearly extinct, accounting for just 7.5% of total industry sales in late 2025. In stark contrast, new vehicles priced over $75,000 accounted for 10.8% of all sales. The average new vehicle transaction price is $49,814, financed at an average auto loan rate of 9.56%, resulting in a $776 monthly payment. Dealership principals utilize limited allocations as leverage to demand non-negotiable markups. Lenders win, dealerships capture pure margin, and the entry-level buyer is entirely priced out. With new showrooms weaponized against them, buyers have one path left. Buyers navigating this fractured landscape must treat orphaned performance badges as a completely separate asset class. When a manufacturer vacates a segment, the surviving nameplates experience a unique financial distortion. A standard commuter Focus faces heavy depreciation due to the transmission stigma. Conversely, the manual transmission Focus RS trades in an isolated collector bubble, maintaining an average used sale price of $32,572. If you are purchasing one of these appreciating assets, you're entering a minefield. As automotive journalist Bozy Tatarevich exposed, assembly workers mistakenly installed head gaskets designed for the 2.3-liter Mustang EcoBoost into early Focus RS engine blocks. The lack of a critical elastomer coating between the cylinders led to severe engine fretting. Standard third-party vehicle history reports frequently miss warranty actions. You must demand the official Ford Oasis report from a dealership to verify that Field Service Action 17B32 was completed, including a bore scope check. Failing to verify this repair leaves you exposed to a total engine loss. Furthermore, the federal 10-year mandated parts availability law is a complete legal myth. The Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act governs what automakers must support, and they only must provide parts for the duration of the explicit warranty. Once expired, there is no legal obligation to manufacture spares, leaving owners vulnerable to severe parts shortages. If you're forced to shop for standard compact cars, explicitly avoid any DPS 6 equipped models between 2012 and 2016, unless you have hard documentation of the transmission control module coverage. Price the risk as a heavy discount, never as a gamble. Ford had willing buyers. What they lacked was the discipline to build affordable cars profitably under modern regulations. they retreated to the safety of commercial vans and heavy trucks, handing the enthusiast crown directly to their rivals. If you want to understand how the automotive industry actually operates, you have to follow the money. Subscribe to the Bear Block Chronicles. The next investigation lands soon.